Hello there and welcome to another video, and I'm going to be talking about Gini Wijnaldum, and I'm going to be talking in a very unbiased way, or actually, you know what, it's probably going to be quite biased because I'm a big fan of Gini Wijnaldum, and I'm seeing so many people slating and slagging off Gini Wijnaldum and what he brings to Liverpool, what he doesn't bring to Liverpool, and stuff like that as well. And it is no coincidence. If we weren't linked to Thiago from Bayern Munich, I don't think people would really be saying anything about Gini Wijnaldum. But a lot of people are wanting us to, and I say a lot of people, right? Let's get this into perspective straight away. This is a majority of people that are on Twitter, but it looks like a majority because the negative sounding people always sound louder, look louder than those that like to preach the positives, because the negative people will try and drag down the positive people or drown out the positive people's perspective and points of view. I don't really care about that. I have my views. It takes a lot for someone to change my views, and I don't care if it's a massive account or anything like that. I know what I think, I know what I feel, I know what I see as well. It's why I'm not going to talk a lot about statistics and stuff like that. Probably not going to talk about stats at all, because if I'm totally honest with you, this is an off-the-cuff video, and that's how I wanted to do it. I haven't gone and looked at Gini Wijnaldum's season stats, his stats by season since he's been at Liverpool or anything like that, but he passes the eye test by a massive margin. Absolute massive margin. And if you're not sure what the eye test is, it's literally what you see, what he does on a pitch. We all know what he does on a pitch. I don't care if stats say he doesn't do this, he doesn't get an assist here, he doesn't score enough goals, he's not contributing enough, he's not getting the pre assist or the pre to the pre-assist, which then pre's the assist to the assist. I don't care about any of that. I don't care that he's not driving forward. He doesn't score as many goals as, say, Fabinho or Henderson or even Lallana at some point. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I really don't think people understand what we have in Gini Wijnaldum. They will understand it if he does leave, because that will not be replaced by Thiago from Bayern Munich. Make no mistake, there's people turning around saying that Thiago can do everything that Gini Wijnaldum can do. And then he's got this, and then he's got that, and he's got this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. From what I've seen of Thiago, fantastic player, brilliant player, likes to conduct things. I would say, and I might be wrong in saying this, but from what I see of Thiago, he's a little bit of a Pirlo. Little bit of a Pirlo. That little controller who has outstanding passing. His vision is very, very good as well. Can get himself out of tight spots here and there as well. Great. All I would say is, a lot of people's arguments about Gini Wijnaldum and getting him to leave Liverpool is because he turns 30 this year or next year. Thiago's 29. They're pretty much the exact same, like, in terms of age. Another quality that we have for Wijnaldum is the fact that he's done it in the Premier League for a number of years. Was the best player at Newcastle when he was there. Unfortunate to get relegated in that team, but he was their top scorer in that season as well. And I remember a game, I cannot remember who it was against, but I do remember that he scored 4 in one game, because I remember the celebration of him going like that. He plays a different role at Liverpool. He plays a different role. He's not as advanced as he is, like he was at Newcastle, and also like he is for the Netherlands as well. Whenever he goes on international duty, Gini Wijnaldum always scores. He's always got that in him. Now, we look at what he does at Liverpool, and people say, well, what does he do at Liverpool? And when I say he does things like the dirty work, he does so much tracking and running and hard work, running around the pitch. You will not see a heat map of Gini Wijnaldum stood still. You will not see a heat map of Gini Wijnaldum like Luis Suarez against Bayern Munich, where he's got one spot in the centre of the pitch. Obviously, they took a lot of kickoffs, but you won't see that with Gini Wijnaldum. He does so much work off the ball. It's not necessarily tracked by stats, but he passes the eye test for damn sure. Now then, you've got to look at it as well. And I'm going to take Thiago completely out of the equation as well, because a lot of other people will turn around and say, all right, well, look at him compared to Henderson. Henderson gets some goals, he gets some assists as well. Look at Fabinho, scores absolute bangers sometimes, like he did against Man City, like he did against Crystal Palace. It's like, okay, fair enough. Maybe he doesn't contribute enough in terms of goals. But that didn't take away from us and all of the starting performances that Gini Wijnaldum had in winning the Premier League. Now then, we go back a year before as well. We are 3-0 down in the first leg against Barcelona. We'd been absolutely torn apart by Messi. We'd played well, but he scored some really, really good goals in the first leg. Come the second leg, Gini Wijnaldum doesn't even start the game, comes on second half. Now, who scores those goals if Gini Wijnaldum doesn't? Do we win the Champions League without Gini Wijnaldum's contribution? No. 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 Gini Wijnaldum brought us to 3-3 on aggregate. 3-3 on aggregate. A night where everybody said we were finished and we could win the game but not win the tie. And I actually felt that as well at the time. And then you see genius Wijnaldum, and I use that on purpose, pop up and help us on our way to number 6. That doesn't happen with anybody else. Doesn't happen. So when I say he passes the eye test with flying colours, he passes the eye test with flying colours. That is what I mean. Thiago, fantastic midfielder by all rights. And the perfect situation would be here is you keep Wijnaldum and you bring in Thiago and have them at the same time. Squad depth. Quality squad depth. How about that? Why does it need to be Gini Wijnaldum versus Thiago? Thiago versus Gini Wijnaldum. And then all of a sudden, the player that we have who has helped contribute to getting the Champions League, to winning the Premier League, most of our fans, it seems like, turn on Gini Wijnaldum instantly because Thiago, the Spanish midfielder from Bayern Munich, he's doing brilliantly, Wijnaldum. I do not care what anybody else says. And he's our player. Our player. Thiago is a fantastic player for Bayern Munich in a completely different league. All right, he's doing it in the Champions League as well. But week in, week out, does he have it to do what Gini Wijnaldum does? What is required of our midfield and how hard it works? We don't know. Because he's not played in the Premier League. And he's not played in this era of the Premier League where everything up and down the pitch, attack, midfield, defence, everything is high intensity, high work rate. Everything is fast. It's not Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga who are challenged-ish by Dortmund, by Leipzig. It's not going to be where they have 2 or 3 challenging games a season. They're going to have a challenging game every single time that a league game comes round. It doesn't even matter. And I think the quality of the promoted teams this season is higher than it has been in a long, long time. Than I can even remember. The likes of Leeds coming up, West Brom and how well that they did in their season in the Championship as well. Fulham getting themselves the promotion from the playoffs. I think the quality of the promoted teams is higher than it has been since I can remember. every single game. All 38 games in the Premier League are going to be difficult. And people would rather bank on a player that's never played in the Premier League over a player that has helped us win the Champions League and helped us win the Premier League. I can't get behind that type of thinking. If you're going to say it has to be Gini versus Thiago, I'm Team Gini. Every single step of the way. Every single step of the way. As long as he wants to be here and he wants to play for Liverpool and contribute, I'm behind him 100%. I cannot get behind a player that doesn't even play for us. If Thiago comes and plays for us, hey, fair play. That's absolutely fine. But I back my team and I back my players that have helped us so much. I don't get any other way of thinking. I really, really don't. And if you disagree, then you're going to have to explain what it is about Gini Wijnaldum that you don't like. If it's purely because he doesn't get goals and assists, then I don't know how to help you, because it didn't stop us from winning the Champions League, even though he scored 2 vital goals for us in the Champions League. And in the Premier League, if it's because he doesn't score enough goals, well, he helped us, get past Sheffield United the first time we played them. He was the only one that scored that game. So he pops up in vital moments. And he does he contributes vital things. I cannot get behind being negative about one of our own players who's done really well for us just because he's not a Kevin De Bruyne. That doesn't sit well with me, because he's not a Bruno Fernandes or anything like that. Really look at what our players do, what their individual roles are, and what their collective roles are as well, because there is a lot that is sacrificed for the team collective, the unit, or as people are liking to mock recently, the system. The system. Go look at what Gini Wijnaldum can do with the Netherlands. And if you really want to contest why he doesn't score or assist more, then maybe look at Jurgen Klopp, look at the coaching system. But it works for us. He is a much more advanced player with the Netherlands, and I'm pretty sure in the last international break, or one of them, he scored a hat-trick in a game as well, because he plays in a more advanced role. But he's sacrificing that and working hard for the team in the role that he's given at Liverpool. Maybe look at the coaching. But it's not done us any harm, has it? All right, we didn't go unbeaten. We still won the Premier League, though. Maybe have a think about that. In my opinion, if you think that Gini Wijnaldum, for some reason, is all of a sudden an awful player because we've been linked to Thiago, really think about it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, and I will be making some other videos as well as I can anyway. So I hope that you're having a good day. Hope you have a good weekend ahead of you anyway. And thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Whatever you think, if you disagree, don't be toxic. Please don't be toxic, because you just won't get a response. That's just how it is. And yeah, feel free to like the video. Get your comments in. I will be back at some point making other videos, but for now, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go make some food, because that is the best part of a day, is anytime you get to eat food. And I will catch you later.